it was such a good episode, but it took me forever to get through it. All that reading of subtitles, I am so serious. And then I had to keep reminding myself of who said what to who. Oh, hey, hi, it's me, Wilma Fingerdoo, with the Fingerdoo review of Drag Race Holland, Season 1, Episode 1. And before we get started, well, I just want to send a shout out to poor little Kimmy Middleton. I hope you're feeling better, Kimmy. We were having a little chat on the grams or the tubes or the socials, whatever it was. And we were talking about how good we were at social distancing before all of this craziness came around. But that doesn't mean people don't have bad days. So, Kimmy, I hope you're having better days. And you know what? Don't let those bad days define you, darling. I'm so serious. Also, I just want to send a shout out to my tipper-doos this week, because I'm nothing without my tipper-doos. And this week's tipper-doos are Agnes Davis, Martha Grunwald, Kelly Kendrick, Susan Nicolai, and Elizabeth Buddha. Oh, and in Redbubble model news, Zotai caught one. Last week we got a post from Zotai. They showed us a bunch of masks that they had bought for their family and swore that there were kids there that needed them. Well, proof is in the pudding. Not only did Zotai grab one, but got a seriously mask on him too. Board Noof, and that's not a disparaging comment, that's his name on Instagram, sent me this picture of himself in a fabulous seriously mask as well, in a pool. How bored can you be if you're in a pool? I'm so serious. And finally, we have Jen. Look at how gorgeous she looks in her serious t-shirt. And she's given us her best serious face. I think I could take a tip or two from you, Jen, I'm just saying. Speaking of Redbubble, I finally got these. My masks. I don't know why it took them a long time to get these in. Look at that. A vampire vegan. These are all Denise Journeau's designs. We're calling them Wilma lips. These are available on Redbubble right now. This is my favorite one. Signed it. And then, but she, with all these masks that we have to keep wearing, I thought, people are going to forget or think people aren't in a good mood or in a bad mood or whatever. I thought, so if you need a smile on your face, go to Redbubble and grab a mask. Let Wilma and Denise put a smile on your face for you. Also, speaking of Denise, I do want to remind you that we are selling a fabulous collection of illustrations that Denise did. This is my favorite one. I shouldn't have a favorite, but I do. It's this one. I love autumnal tones and boobs, so this is a great image. But there's 4 of them there. The Witch, the Mermaid, the Leaves, and the Film Noir. And all the money from that is going to Rainbow Railroad. Link for that is down below. Also, for a limited time until October 31st, Denise designed some Halloween-inspired shirts. There are the 3 designs there. We have Kiss of the Fingerdoo. We've got the Bride of Fingerdoo. And then Attack of the 60-Foot Wilma. I love this. This is my favorite. I just think that that's gorgeous. They're so great. So it's a limited time. You can get the Halloween ones on Redbubble. All the links are down below. And I'm just sending out another shout out to Christine for sending me the Beast Mirror. Of course, Alyssa now is just looking at everybody out of the one good eye. But so happy to have received that. You're such a sweetheart. And clearly, it's helping with my beat. Or at least I think so. And now, Jorge, drink me. Ooh, what is this? This is very minimal. What is this? Tequila and Fresca? Okay, I love tequila and Fresca. But summer's over. We need a new drink. I love this. We're going to get some Dutch Advocaat. It's like an eggnog liqueur. It's an egg liqueur that they make in the Netherlands. And I love eggnog. So I'm willing to give it a go. I just have to find it. That's the hard thing. We do have it in Canada, but it's not so easy to find. I'm just saying. All right. So let's get to it. Before we get started, I just want to say having to read subtitles and look at the queens sucks. I just want to apologize to every non-English speaking country across the land who's had to do it up till now. 12 seasons of Drag Race, I'm just saying. I don't know about you, but I kept missing stuff. I mean, of course, I usually miss a lot of things, but this takes the pale, I'm so serious. I kept having to rewind. It was a lot of work. Thank goodness, it was worth it. First underneath the windmill was Miss Abby OMG, and OMG, she is stunning. But I thought that outfit was kind of basic. One thing that wasn't basic, though, was her body, yaddy, yaddy. Let's hope she doesn't rely on it too much. Third thing. Second under the windmill was Chelsea Boy. Now, this was an outfit. Chelsea was giving us Uma Thurman from Kill Bill and Gigi Good from season 12 realness. And it was so different from her promo look. I am expecting a lot from this queen. Third thing. Third beneath the Vindemorlen, that's how they say it there, was Jackie. I'm just going to call her JJ. She was serving all kinds of kitty girl realness in that leopard outfit. I'm so serious. Chelsea looked worried when she saw her, which made me worry, I'm just saying. But one thing that was painfully obvious is that JJ is a competitor. Painful to anyone who gets in her way, I'm so serious. Fourth under the Vindmolen was a Bride of Christ, but clearly this was an open relationship. Megan Schoenbrod, she seems fun, and the other queen seemed genuinely thrilled to see her. Our fifth queen was one of the queens I was excited to see, Madame Madness. Now, I thought she was the first bearded queen to be on RuPaul's Drag Race, but no, there was a bearded queen, Marie Laveau, on the Switch Drag Race South America. So, second servings to you, Maddie, I'm just saying. JJ seemed to not be pleased to see Madame Madness, unless, of course, she just thinks that all queens that aren't her are lazy. Six into the room was Room Service, internet queen extraordinaire. She is an interesting queen because she's never performed live. She is only on YouTube. And I have to say, it was interesting to see the reaction from the other queens because for some of them, this was their first time seeing Room in person. For others, it was the first time without a filter. As for Room, she didn't seem to know who many of them were. Seventh into the workroom was Cedergine. I've said it before, I'll say it again. She's my pick to win it all. I think she has a lot of potential. And she was sporting some daddy rich cheetah couture in that entrance. And a lot of the queens seemed a little worried when Cedergine walked in. Eighth under the Wundmolen was Mama Queen, making history as the first pregnant queen to do so. I don't understand why she was pregnant, but the other queens seemed genuinely thrilled to see her. From what I could understand, Mama Queen does a lot of sewing for a lot of these queens, so this could mean A, she'll have no trouble in the sewing challenges herself, or B, everyone will rely on her because she's such a giving person, she'll help everyone first and suffer herself and get kicked out. Oh God, I'm already upset. The ninth queen into the workroom was wearing my favorite look of the whole evening. Patty Pam Pam, come for the queen, stay for the name. I loved the black wig. I loved the measuring tape boa, the pin. I thought she was great. What I didn't understand, though, was Cedergine. She seemed to have a problem with Pam Pam. There must be a history there because she said something about Pam Pam not being able to talk. Well, I could hear her talk. She's talking. Lips were moving. I heard sound. That's talking. I didn't understand a word she said, but I heard her. I also got a sense from JJ that she was sizing Pam Pam up too. JJ and Pam Pam. It's a TV show. The 10th and final queen to pass under the windmill was Envy Peru, another heavy hitter. This is the most followed queen on social media in Benelux. And Benelux is Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands. So already you could see why the queens were gagging when she walked in. But the other reason, she is stunning. I knew who she was when she walked in because she had done a drag makeover tutorial with Nikki Tutorials. I am so excited to see what this queen has to offer because she's another one I couldn't really find anything online. Her Instagram, fantastic, but no performance. So it's a mystery. So as everyone was saying hello, which took a lot of time with all that triple kissing going on, seriously, the queens were interrupted by Rue's video message, which thankfully was in English. And then there was Fred Van Leer. I'm super glad that Fred made a point of telling the queens that he'd been doing drag since before a lot of them were born, because most people in Holland know Fred only as a presenter. And I thought he was doing a fabulous job until he listed the prizes for Drag Race Holland. Really? Weren't you all just surprised by that? I mean, yes, okay, we all were expecting Fierce Drag Jewels, but the cover of Cosmo? Okay. And an 18,000 euro dress. That's about 22,000 in American anyway. I mean, I'm sure it's not that dress, because that dress is specific. Not everyone can wear that dress, nor does everyone want to. It's Dusty Rose. I'm just saying. I feel like most of the queens coming into that workroom already have all that. Except for the Cosmo magazine cover. They all have these prizes. Mind you, no offense to the tall guy, but if Mr. Dark and Handsome helps me get into that dress, then we can call it a prize. And then it was time for the mini challenge. Fred prepared the queens with a very veiled hint at what it was about. It had to do with the King of the Netherlands. Well, when they got there, it was a big water tank. I thought that possibly in the history of the King of the Netherlands, he'd either been on a shipwreck, saved someone in a shipwreck, something. No, he's on the Water Commission Board. That's the only connection to water. It's a stretch, Fred. I'm just saying. And what were they doing in the water tank? Well, getting their photo taken by the extra sexy Jasper Sawick. Oh, I'm telling you right now, I am not going to have a problem with most of the men on Drag Race Holland if they all have that Nordic hair. Chelsea Boy went first, and she had a huge problem staying underwater because she's skinny. But I also think it had a lot to do with that leather outfit. I think it captured a lot of air. It didn't let her get down into the pool as far as she wanted. And we know this because she admitted that her expectations of her performance in this challenge did not meet the reality. Poor sweet baby. Senator Jean had the same problem as well. Too bad she took that big old bum bag off. I think that if once it got soaked, it would have helped dragged her down a little bit. I'm just saying. Thank God she was tucked and was able to throw that picture at the camera. It's one of my favorites. Room service had the same problem as the first two queens, but at least she was able to smile for the camera. Could have been worse. She could have stuck her tongue out. Barf. And then there was Abby. OMG. This queen knows how to get down in the bottom of a tank. I'm just saying. I think personally that metal bikini she was wearing had a lot to do with it. But either way, that was her first shot. That was the first shot they took off the roll. You tell me that being beautiful isn't a talent. Seriously. Abby wasn't surprised. She's a member of the Mermaid Maison. Speaking of Mermaid Maison, her sister Envy Peru also threw down a fantastic photo. Abby better watch out, because I suspect it's every sis for themselves. Poor Pam Pam. She was another queen that lost a little bit more than her dignity in that tank. Thank God her hair was pink. It brightened the photo, if you ask me. Another queen that I thought did excellently in this challenge was Madame Madness. The flare on her pants and her sleeves really gave her almost like either a mermaid or even one of those a zebra fish, those with all the spines and the stripes. I was so impressed. I wasn't impressed with this particular photo, but as she was moving around, I thought she actually looked like a mermaid. You would have thought Mama Queen would have sunk a lot deeper in that tank with her pregnancy pad, but she didn't. Even burping didn't release any of that trapped air. She just kept bouncing on the surface. Although I have to say, I did like this picture. The way the light was hitting her, she didn't look human. She looked like a mannequin. Gorgeous. Megan Schoenbrood's fear of water didn't hold her back. She just let go and let God. Well, as soon as she ditched the hat, she did anyway. Once she ditched the hat, she got there. Is anyone else distracted by her big toe? JJ was very confident going into this mini challenge. She obviously thinks very highly of herself. Yet still, for all her big talk, JJ delivered a fantastic photo, even in that faux fur bomber. Faux fur bomber was my drag queen name in high school. After the mini challenge, as the queens de-dragged, they assessed Who was the hottest? No wonder some of these queens don't learn how to sew. There was Fred and photographer Jasper to announce the winner of the mini challenge, which happened to be Abby. God bless her. I have to say, I love this photo, but I wish her head was up just a titch. Just a titch. It's more light on that moneymaker. Seriously. Envy seemed envious. Maybe it was bikini envy. I don't know. But it was kind of hard to tell with those contacts, I'm just saying. And then it was announced that the next day was going to be the runway. No maxi challenge? No. In lieu of a maxi challenge, they were getting homework. I'm so serious. The queens had to write in one sentence why they thought they were unique and distinctive enough to win the crown. Well, this seemed a lot easier for some and a hell of a lot harder for others, I'm just saying. But before the queens got right down to it, they took a moment to congratulate Abby on her mini challenge win. Kind of. I felt there was a lot of shade there, especially from JJ. I'm telling you, don't get in her way. But I have to say, I was feeling that these queens were a lot more cutthroat than anything we've seen on Drag Race America. Just me? As the queens got down to work, you could see that there were a couple that were struggling. Abby seemed to have a plethora of things to choose from, and Megan teased that she would be revealing a huge big secret. Dum dum dum. And then it was elimination day, and few, if any, of the queens slept well the night before, as I would expect would be the case for just about anybody in a competition with other queens who seem mean. Abby still hadn't chosen her sentence because she'd written a book's worth to choose from. Thorgy Thor. And Setter Jean said it would have been a hell of a lot easier to write one sentence if it had been for Grindr, like anyone reads on Grindr. While the girls were getting ready, what appeared to me to be an attempt at shade from Abby at Room, asking her about her experiences performing live, which Room said, well, I'm from theater, I know how to perform. She just hasn't done it as a drag queen. The two of them got into a conversation about coming out to their folks, and it was really quite a magical thing because I really feel that the intention for this conversation was one thing, and it turned into this other conversation where they both shared the trials and tribulations they dealt with their family. I mean, Room saying that her mother worried about just people talking about her son, wherein Abby didn't talk to her mother for quite some time. Either way, it was interesting to see two very different people with two very different backgrounds having a very similar situation and being clearly able to become closer because of it. See, we're not all so different. As for the rest of the queens, the pressure was on. The first runway and the first elimination. And then there we were on the runway, and there was Fred looking gorgeous. I am so impressed that he dressed up in drag. He didn't have to. I'm sure there was no reason for it beyond the fact that A, he could, and B, why the hell not? So this has set Holland's Drag Race just that step up for me. Joining Fred on the judges panel, fashion designer Nikki Plessen, the Jason Wu of the Netherlands, Dutch couturier Klaas Iversen, and actress and comedian Sanne Wallis de Vrij. Category is, Who's Your Queen? Setter Jean broke the seal on that runway with her Marie Antoinette. And I just have to say, I love this whole outfit, but it was historically inaccurate. And I'm just going to say, at the time of Marie Antoinette, she would have worn panniers. And I think that Setter Jean could have created the same open book effect that the hoop skirt did. But hoop skirts were 100 years after. Just saying. Envy Peru was next in an ode to Queen Maxima of the Netherlands. And as beautiful as she looked, it was still a leotard. I'm just saying. JJ was next as the Queen Bee, and I just have to say I hated this wig. If there was ever a moment for a beehive hairdo, this was it. I felt like this looked like she just literally opened the bag and stuck it on her head. As for the outfit, it was all right. It seemed very beesy. See what I did there. But once she took off the bottom half of it for the reveal, I liked it a lot more. Her padding for her body is flawless. Just saying. Room was next as the evil queen from Snow White, kind of. This was another outfit where the wig let me down. It looked very shake and go. And I have to say, I liked the outfit because it really did look like something she made at home. It looked like it was constructed out of paper or something. And the mirror on the stick was gorgeous. But I have to say, I was following Room on Instagram, and I was sorry to hear that this was not her first pick. She had another outfit that was Medusa, and the production asked her to switch it. Now, this is the picture of Medusa. I think she looks a lot like Chelsea Boy's Alien Queen, but not enough that they would say, well, you can't wear the same thing down the runway. Maybe they had a problem with Medusa not being an actual queen, but Room did bring this outfit as her second choice, and it is what she wore down the runway. So for those of you who are following Room on Instagram, that was the problem. Production asked her to switch that up last minute, but short of that, I would have packed a better second outfit. Mama Queen's Virgin Mary was visually stunning. I think the whole production of that backdrop that she actually was able to leave and walk away from, and the crown that lit up, and there was a lot going on. Enough so that upon exiting the stage, it looked like Mama Queen forgot the gold backdrop or thought, oh, I can't leave it there. And when she turned, her crown fell off. Oh, it just was a mishigas at the end. It was unfortunate for her to end what I thought was a good runway in such an awkward way. Speaking of awkward, Megan Schoenbrud's Diana Ross was odd. It was awkward. I think that if Diana Ross were in the room and saw somebody dressed like that and heard them say, "Oh, I'm impersonating you," she would have slapped their face. I don't think Diana Ross has ever worn that color. I don't think she's also ever worn a rainbow. But that was the best Diana Ross wig I have ever seen. And Megan looked like she was having a good time in it, even though at least she admitted that the dress was wrong and that she didn't think that she pulled this look together right. I like Megan. I like the fact that she's not completely unaware of how she's doing. All the time. Thank God for Chelsea Boy. As I said, she was dressed as the Alien Queen from Alien, and I couldn't get over this. She looked like a Geiger painting. It was amazing. And as she walked away, the tail whipped around. This was just one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And this being her third look on the show, from her promo look to her entrance look to this, there's not been one repeated silhouette in the bunch. It's day one. Next was Pam Pam as Freddie Mercury, and I was so disappointed in this, specifically because it was Pam Pam. She can sew. This was a onesie with a cape and a crown that wouldn't stay on her head. I hated the fact that she had to hold the crown on her head. If you have to hold something on you, then it's not a costume, it's a prop. I just was so disappointed. I also hated that she took the mustache off. Why put it on then? She could have held it on. She could have had the crown and a mustache on a whole. Well, she didn't ask me. Maddie Madness as the Queen of Hearts was another look I just absolutely loved. There is something about the way this queen paints her face that it just draws me in. I absolutely love it. She's got such great sense of color. And the way she incorporates her beard into her look to a point where it almost, I don't even see it anymore. But her drawing the little hearts on the end of the curly-Q mustache was delicious. The only thing I thought was that the skirt on the dress looked cheap, but then it was a tearaway. So I guess if you're not wearing it for long, you don't want to buy the best. Abby looked gorgeous as the queen of the Brazilian carnival, but this looked very much like her entrance look. It was another bathing suit or a leotard or whatever. And even though the feathers and the crown and everything was beautiful, it just didn't. It was underwhelming, especially up against a lot of these other queens. I'm not disparaging her heritage or her pride, but this is a competition. And having on another onesie is not going to do it, I'm just saying. At least Nikki Pleasant seemed to think her shoes were nice. Maybe she'll borrow them. Then the queens had to read their sentence as to why they felt that they should win Drag Race Holland. Envy Peru went first, and she threw a word salad up in the air that even she didn't buy. Sedergine should have gone with a grinder bio because her declaration blew, and not in the sexy way. JJ was cold and hinted that the world would be a better place if they just let her win. I didn't hate Room's statement. Well, not as much as some of the other queens did. Mama Queens was short and sweet. Thank God. Megan shared her big secret, which was that she was deaf and that she didn't let it keep her from being fabulous. You could see this caught some of the other queens off guard. Chelsea's statement seemed to be a little pageanty, but it did seem to come from the heart. Pam Pam seemed to be a little intimidated by what the other queens had said, so she tried to keep hers short and sweet too, although I don't think all that talk about her boxes was helpful. Maddie Madness kept hers short and to the point as well, espousing her talents at gender blending. And for all the choices of all the sentences she'd come up with to read, Abby settled on the one about her Brazilian heritage. And then it was time for the judges' critiques. Envy Peru, Abby OMG, Madam Madness, and Patty Pam Pam were all safe, much to Envy's chagrin. Everyone loves Sedergine, even though it was pointed out that her silhouette was the wrong period. Told you! Everyone seemed to get over their disdain for yellow and black in the same outfit where JJ was concerned. But am I the only one who hated that wig? Come on. None of the judges seemed to like Room's look, which made me wish they could have seen her first one. The reaction from Mama was mixed. Klaus thought the whole thing looked cheap. He hated everything, while Fred disagreed. But everyone did agree that her malfunction was a shame. Megan got a little teary talking about the struggles she's encountered dealing with her hearing loss, but that did not stop Klaus from reading her on her dirty Diana. As for Chelsea, Sane didn't get her concept. Idiot. But everyone else agreed it was impressive. After the queens had had a cocktail and the judges deliberated, it was announced that this week's winner was JJ, Janny Jackie. Personally, I would have chosen either Sedergine or Chelsea Boy, but good for her. Who did that leave in the bottom, you ask? Room Service and Megan Schoenbrud. Oh, God bless both of them. And the lip sync was to Madonna's Express Yourself. All I have to say is Megan was lucky she was up against Room. I'm so sorry. There was nothing that Room did that spoke of any kind of experience performing. It was all very timid and I don't know. She just... I could see the bedroom around her as she was lip syncing. Not that Megan did much better. All in all, it was just a boring lip sync, and you could tell that the judges felt that too. And sadly, it was Room Service who sashayed away. So, there you have it, our first queen down. What do you think? Should Room have gone first, or do you think she was set up to fail by having her runway look switched on her in the last minute? What about Megan Schoenbrud? No offense, but I was expecting a little more of a performance out of somebody who says that she's won 21 number one crown titles in her career so far. All we can do is tune into Drag Race Holland next week to see how it all plays out. And then, when you're done, you come on back and you see me so you and I can compare notes. Until then, please don't forget to like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you want to support this channel or the Rainbow Railroad, all the links are down below in the description box. Until next week, miss me! Mwah! Seriously, Jorge, we better start thinking about hot cocktails. You heard me.